So this week we're starting labor number 5, and I wanted to go over what that entails with you. So we're going to scroll down here to week 5 of the class, and the first thing we're going to do is open up the labor number 2 project handout. So remember, our big labor for this project is eventually we'll be writing this book review basically. And each of the weeks, the assignments that we do will break down this essay and work on components of the essay until eventually we'll write like an outline and then a rough draft, and then you'll get feedback on the rough draft and you'll have time to revise and edit, and then you'll finally turn in the essay. So we'll be working on the big essay over the next few weeks. You'll eventually turn it in week 7 you'll do a rough draft in week 7 and then the final draft at the end of week 7. So this week, we are moving forward and we're going to do a little bit of reading. We're going to read some fairy tales this week, and then we're going to do some writing about those fairy tales, which the reading responses are due on Thursday, of course. And then the assignment this week that works towards our essay is the academic summary. So we're going to tackle an academic summary, which will be helpful for us when we're writing our review, because part of a good review is a summary of a text. So we're going to take a look at the academic summary instructions. And basically, an academic summary is a way for you to summarize works that will be helpful for you in a number of classes. So I've broken down the summary process into step-by-step instructions for you here. So it's a highly structured four-sentence paragraph, that records essential elements of spoken or written communication. So the first thing we're going to do is state the title of the work, the name of the author, and a rhetorically accurate verb. So when I say rhetorically accurate verb, that sounds like very fancy and confusing, but really I just mean, what is the author doing with that piece? So are they arguing something? Are they stating something? Are they making a claim? Are they explaining? Are they narrating? Are they describing? What is it that the author is doing? And then the clause containing the major assertion, the thesis statement of the work, or the purpose. If we're talking about a piece of fiction, it's appropriate to reference the purpose of the work in that sentence. So here's an example of what that looks like put together. And then the second part of this is an explanation of how the author develops or supports the thesis. So we want to talk a little bit about how the author develops their points. We're not going to talk about every single part of the work, because if we're talking about summarizing a book, books are hundreds of pages, right? Like, we just need to give the key points to let our readers know what's going on. The third part of this is the a statement of the author's purpose followed with the infinitive to. So what is the author's purpose? Why are they explaining this to us? What do they want us to understand after we've read this piece? Do they want us to feel a certain way? Do they want us to understand a certain perspective? That's where you are going to think about that. And then we want to talk about a description of the intended audience. So who is the intended audience for the text that you're summarizing? So I've included this handout for you to practice your summary. For this week, your assignment is to choose one of the stories assigned for this week's reading and use this formula to write an academic summary of it. This will help you because then when we start to write our book review draft, you will be able to use this academic summary to write an effective, concise summary of the piece that you're working with. So this week we have for our assignments due the reading response, and then your academic summary is due Sunday, and then of course your labor log. So if you have questions about this, or if you have any concerns about how to write your summary, remember that we have the weekly student hours, Tuesday from 1 to 2 and Wednesday from 3 to 5, and you could schedule an appointment with me on Mondays if you'd like. If none of those times work for you, just let me know and we can arrange something.